Good morning, friends. Today we are going to speak on Vision India 2040, comprehensive community development through quality education. Now, what is the meaning of comprehensive community development? In India, we have unity in diversity. That means we have different types of geographical areas, cultures, languages, social systems, and not only that, the entire nation is divided into different communities. When I say community, it is actually caste. Community, as per sociology, it is a group of people residing in one geographical areas in a definite place, having similar cultures, similar languages, way of living, thinking, customs, clothings that we call community. But in India, we have further sub communities. In a village, in a area, you will find the streets, the mohallas, the tolas are divided into segments based on the caste. In areas, rural areas, that is to, in you can say the areas which are not highly educated, highly developed, still they are, but people have moved towards suburban areas. We can call kasbas, colonies, cities, towns, where people are residing together irrespective of their social recognition in the form of caste religion. In cities, we have two types of categorization. One is posh area, and one is middle, and third category is also that is slum area. That is based on economic status. But in villages, rural India, still we have the hamlets, we can say, the mahallas, the areas where people reside on the basis of their caste. Slowly it is getting diminished, but in some of the states, some of the areas, it is dominant. But it plays a vital role. Now, the condition was before 50 years or 30 years or 100 years. Now it is not existing. People have moved, they have become progressive. So, having so many ideologies in the society, we can think of having one ism, that is humanism. How the community can develop. And let us think about the developed communities in India itself. I know one community in India, rather, you can say a people of a particular caste. They have a culture and that culture is called culture of excellence. And that excellence comes through quality education. The people of that community, I think after independence, when the domination of a particular category of people was abolished through democratization, and the landlordship in the villages in the rural areas was abolished, that we can see zamindari or monarchy rajtantra. People of a particular community, those who were known as educated lot in India, they left their property, big houses, everything, and they moved towards the cities, the metros, as per their economical condition and educational background. What was the purpose? The purpose was to have English medium qualitative education for their children. They got their children admitted in some of the best schools in cities, in towns, wherever they could go. Within 15 years of lifespan, there was a miraculous change in the lives of the children of those communities. They enjoyed the same status what they used to enjoy before independence, before the constitution was applied in India. How could that be possible? The English medium schools had still have very good environment, and a child develops through two resources, two means. One is heredity and other one is environment. Hereditary education, customs, traditions comes from parents, grandparents, and the family. That community was already in education in pre independent India. They were accountants, they were ministers, they were teachers, they were doctors, they were engineers in those days, as per the education system or whatever it is. And they developed education by adopting the language English. They had progressive mind, and the community itself was very progressive. They made their female children, their daughters, their sisters, when their mothers were highly educated. In a culture of excellence, what is the secret of success? Take example of a family. If the male and female children get the same treatment, same similar education, similar independence, freedom, the entire family develops. If a male child is educated, highly educated, and the bride is not educated as the groom is, then what will happen? The social, family, individual background will be different, the thought process will be different, the bride will be either guided by their mothers, their sisters, their relatives, whenever they go for a solution, and the solutions will be different. But in a family where the girl is highly educated, the bride is highly educated, she will be able to take her own decisions, and she will be able to convince to have the similar equal right, and will be able to manage the daily home routines, and slowly she will have her own says in the family. And in the families of that particular educated community, what I have seen in my past life of student, working with them in organizations, studied in colleges, schools, I could find their thought process is entirely different. They follow STEAM, science, technology, English, engineering, and mathematics formula. But they will not shout, they will not oppose anything. They will move with the flow without disclosing their plans of developments. Today, majority of the engineers, doctors, chartered accountants, even lawyers, professors, even in administrative and police services, banks, you will find majority of their community youths are employed. They always try to have a work in which they will have a fan above their head, a table, a chair, and pen. They like this job. I have seen very less people go for any other thing. And the family is so civilized, community is so civilized that whenever we say the most developed, the most civilized, the most educated, the most accepted community in India by everyone, except exceptions, is that particular community. And population of that community is very less, very less. But how have they developed? Because of their thought process. They may have initially a low income status, financial status. They change that status. They do only one thing. They have control over population. Automatically, when they have less children, they will be able to manage their expenditures in education, in health. First, they have moved to the cities where They find a peaceful, a suitable place for them, maybe smaller, but they choose an environment where they have peace and progress in the society. They choose that society. They have one house, maybe smaller, and according to that, they will have their number of children, one or two, maybe maximum three. Exception is always there. They will send their children again, already I have explained, to the best of the schools in the city, the town, wherever they are. And both husband and wife will work, whether it is in private sector, government sector, PSUs, they will work, both. And whatever the earning will be, they will spend on first child's education, health, and their quality lifestyle. They will have maybe clothes are cheaper, but the maintenance will be very high. They develop their personalities, they spend on that. And this is possible only when the mother is highly educated, because the children are looked after by the mother first. I have seen the mother is also working, but her priority will be her children. The husband will have a freedom to earn money, and the wife will support him. Thus, the family, the community have become one of the most developed community, not only in India but in the world. They don't go for arguments. They don't go for fighting against anybody. They don't indulge in criticism. Take example of a journey. When you are moving on a path, when you look at right and left, you will have so many distractions. I'll give you an example. When a horse moving on a road, on a path, you must have seen the eyes of the horse will be covered with flaps, two flaps, so that the horse is not able to see right and left. The horse will be able to see in front. The path of the journey, that means goal, that community is like that. They don't get indulged in anything that can create disturbance, hurdle on the path of their development. And the first is education. When the quality of education is high, the students, when they come out of the school after 12th, majority of them get admissions in good institutions, professional institutions, maybe engineering colleges, medical colleges, management colleges. They manage. They will spend less on their lifestyle. They will have balanced food, maintain good clothes, maybe cheaper. Their personality will be pleasant. And when the people of the society will meet them, they always show a very high level of grade of civilization. Again, I say exceptions are always there. I have seen them. I asked one of My friends from that community, how do you develop like this? The first thing is said that we move from the environment that affects us adversely and go to a place where the environment is conducive for qualitative education. We go to near the quality institutions in the city up to class 12th. We go nearby to that so that in less money we need to spend less money for education, higher education, that is qualitative education. Most probably they try to be within 5 to 10 kilometers of the best institution, best school in the cities, in the towns. Or if it is farther, they will have their own convenience. They invest on their children. How? They have less number of children. They spend on quality education, English medium, preferably CBSE schools. Because the syllabus of CBSE and CRT is highly useful for almost all the competitive examinations in India and even abroad also. The students, after completion of 12th, they go to the professional colleges, institutions, and they try to get government seats where the fees will be minimum. They will come out of those institutions and they will devote their time and energy for competitive examinations. That may be for class C post, but they will go for job. And within a time bound frame, they will follow SMART goal. The goal should be specific, attainable, achievable, reasonable, time bound, measurable. First, they will find out what are the capabilities they have, the best capability where they are going to have their position as higher achievers. Suppose someone is very good in English and poor in other subjects, he or she will go for English lecturership, minimum English teacher. Likewise, if somebody is very good in physics, chemistry, math in school or up to 12th, they will go for engineering. They find out, they do research, they always have observation of their children and evaluate them, which are the capabilities the children have developed. According to them, their capabilities, they guide them to have their career. So here, C square formula is applied, career into capability. The second formula they apply, they have already decided when they got married or even they were planning to get married. What was the formula? Purpose, process, and product. They have already decided that we are going to have one or two children and we are going to get them admitted in one of the best schools in the vicinity where they are going to reside. Otherwise, they will have their rented houses, but they will stay near the best institutions. And again, they will earn legally through their capabilities. Most of the private schools will have teachers from those that community. That is the perfect example of a developed community in India. After having professional degree, some of them go for government jobs in PSUs in private sectors, and you will find majority of the youths working abroad are from that community. So the entire community has developed through quality education that has changed the social, economical, educational, and spiritual level of that entire community. So that community could be seen as an example, as a model for all other communities in India. You will find very less people from that community going to courts, going to police stations, and having cases of quarrel, fights, and crimes. Exceptions are always there, but you will find very less people from that community who have less education. If one generation has less education, the other next generation will have higher education. They focus on quality education. The same can be applied and implemented, adopted by other communities. Especially this message is for the communities which are socially, educationally, and economically backward. We need a new set of thought processes, a new set of leaders. You'll find our entire community is underdeveloped because of their thought process. Some say we need power, and they go for grabbing power. Some communities think that money is going to change their fate, they go behind money. Some think land will empower them, they go and start purchasing, grabbing lands. Some people, some communities think otherwise. But what one community is balanced, they have mental power in the form of quality education, physical power, balanced food, social power, social strength through quality education again. They learn languages, how to speak, how to communicate. That is the reason you will find majority of the teachers, professors, learned people from that community. They know how to communicate without hurting others' emotions. While they speak, you will keep listening them. And I am not saying merely to appreciate that community. No. From childhood, I have seen them. From class fifth new, sixth class was converted to fifth new because the syllabus, the board had changed the policy. From that class onwards, I have seen them, how they grow, how they stay. I have gone to, I had my friends, I had gone to their houses. I went to one of my friend's house in my high school days. When I went there, I saw and I was astonished. There was no sound at all except the kitchen sound. People are there, they are in the rooms. When I went there, they came out, they welcomed me, they spoke with me for few minutes, they went to their rooms. And I felt highly comfortable, very peaceful in that 24 hours. I stayed at night. That was uh, that was the best atmosphere and house for me. That is the environment they create through understanding, through thought process. So one of the finest thinkers in the world says, environment creates thought. Thoughts generate perception. Perceptions create action. And when actions are repeated, they become habits. Habits decide your character, and character is the destiny. That community is the finest example of adopting, applying, and implementing this formula. First, they find the best environment by shifting from non-conducive place which doesn't have environment for growth and development for them to a place where they have the conducive environment for good education and growth and development. Maybe rented house, small house, but they will go and stay in an area where the people are like minded. Think about quality education for their children. They don't pull the legs of each other. They have cordiality, coordination, cooperation, good words, motivation, counseling, appreciation. These are the environment. These all make environment conducive for quality education, growth and development. The first thing is development. And then what happens? Thought process generates. What is the thought process? Comprehensive community development through quality education. And they send their children to one of the best schools in the area. This is the thought process. Now, perception is developed that quality education is going to change their fate. Perception is developed. Quality education, command over the subjects, preparation for competitive examinations, first priority to get government job, the second PSU, third private sector, and the fourth will come professions. And even if they go for business, they will choose the business which has relation with education. Maybe book stalls, maybe stationery shop, maybe medicines or medical instruments shop, engineering instruments shop. Likewise, they will go for where education is given importance, where the people will come there who are either in education or they are on the developmental process of education. When I was in high school, and whenever I used to go for purchasing notebooks or pen, pencil, the quality things were available in one shop. Father was engineer, retired, and then son was already master degree in chemistry or like that, and he was preparing for examination, competitive examination, and they used to be in the shop. That is the thought process, and they develop habit through the actions, repetitions of actions, excellence, the habits which are going to make them excellent, and that turns into character, and you will find the most developed community in India we have from that community. They will have their people in all the fields. In politics, also, you will find. But see them talking when they talk, when they argue, when they discuss. You see the reasoning level. They will have always clean image that comes from thought process. So, friends, this is not very expensive process. This transformation takes place through P5 formula. Already I have discussed about C square, P3, and now they follow P5 formula. This formula is developed by me, available in my book You Can Succeed, author Lalmohan Rajak, publisher Asia Pacific, and it is available in www.amazon.in. I have explained everything in detail. Whoever is interested can go and have a digital format or even paperback. So, why did I say all this? In my experience of the past more than 40 years in learning and teaching, why, what I could understand that any community, any society, any nation can develop, grow through qualitative education up to class 12th. So, what is the idea behind this lecture, speech? Let us have one 10 plus 2 English medium CBSE affiliated school in each panchayat in India. Towns, cities are already having English medium CBSE or any other board schools. And the students residing in cities, towns, suburban areas, or even kasbas where English medium schools are there, they are benefited. But the majority of the employment problem is in the rural areas. 67 and above population resides in rural areas. So, if you want to have a developed nation, India is to be included in the list of developed nations in coming 15 years by 2040, which is a program Vision India 2040. Then we have to have one English medium CBSE affiliated plus two school in each panchayat. Then only it can be said that India will be a developed nation by 2040. So it is not only the job of government, central government or state government, the NGOs, the societies, the citizens of India, the social leaders, business tycoons, even the politicians, those who are progressive, understand the value of quality education. Together we can bring a change, and India could be one of the developed nations by 2040, and we can have the dream fulfilled of Vision India 2040. India is a developed nation. This is what is the message to my fellow citizens, the students, and the people who are like minded. Thank you so much. I am Lal Mohan Rajak, author का motivational speaker, soft skills trainer. Thank you so much. Good day.